welcome to Blue Jays Today, where today, folks, we are going to preview the Game 2 against the Seattle Mariners. Toronto Blue Jays are taking them on. It's do or die today, folks. We got a lot to talk about. Look at the lineups. Talk a bit more about the game itself yesterday, now that we're a bit more sober. I mean, we do have beers going, but a bit more sober. A bit more sober, so we can break it down. I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
Yeah, I'm your host, Nicholas Playlar, guys. We gotta toss our game faces on, you know? Like, you gotta get those lucky underpants going. You gotta do whatever you do in a critical moment, you know? Like, maybe that's, like, go to the gym and, like, really work hard, like, manifest that Blue Jays energy. Whatever we can do at home to give these guys the biggest advantage, I say, like, you gotta hop on that and you gotta do that. For us, it's talking on this goddamn show.
That's right.
And we have to hope that us doing all this, being the fan base that we are, channeling the energy of the Toronto Blue Jays will mean that we score at least a singular run today.
Can we get one run?
It's impossible to win if you put up 0.
Yeah, I mean, you were on, also I did see Nathan Paul here saying, hey, you look good on TV. Shout out, we have been doing a lot of TV appearances on CTV. Nick was on it this morning, and you said, like, we were talking about what's the game plan for winning? Just score. That's the game. You have to score runs
exactly.
to win.
You know, like I heard some people on Twitter and even on CTV, like a few of their analysts talking about Manoah and basically like saying it's like, yeah, like the lights were a bit bright. He didn't have his best stuff. Like there were a few mistakes. And Manoah came out and said it's like the mistakes that I had, they capitalized on them. And I completely agree with that analysis. Like he did have a few mistakes. They were absolutely there. And those pitches that were right in the middle of the zone, they got annihilated.
They destroyed them.
And that's not perfect. Like he wasn't perfect. He definitely wasn't perfect. However, we cannot put the entire blame on Alek Manoah.
Absolutely not.
When the offense puts up 0.
There would be no blame if the offense put up 6 runs.
Totally.
We'd forget about it. We'd say, hey, he battled through, and he still gave us depth, he gave us length, and the bullpen shut it down. But because, people like to look at Alek Manoah expecting perfection. Look, it's his first playoff game, and I'm not using that as an excuse of why he was bad. He just didn't have his stuff early on in the game, but it's just the offense. Look, we had a lot of 2-out rallies, a lot of 2-out singles, little 2-out walks, you know, getting runners, 2 runners on, and then just not capitalizing. Look, and again, you can't expect the offense to always capitalize those situations because they're very few and far between that you do. It's just mathematically not likely to cash in on 2 outs. But you need to go on and get on base early and avoid the double play. There was only one time we had a leadoff hit, and that was Alejandro Kirk in the second inning. And ground ball, first pitch by Teoscar Hernandez, and it was double play. And that we did not see a single leadoff hit from there.
No, I mean, I really felt like from the very first pitch of Luis Castillo, we were on our heels. We were on our heels the whole time. It just completely threw us off. And, you know, the biggest of shout-outs, like, now that I'm a bit more sober, a little bit taken out of the ball game. Like, obviously, the biggest of shout-out and respect to Luis Castillo for an absolutely masterful pitching performance. Like, I don't want to take anything away from that. Like he made those Blue Jays, he made them look like kindergartners, man. Like, they looked lost out there.
It took us a very long time to figure it out.
I don't think we ever did.
I think a couple, like, I know Springer had a good game. Springer had 2 hits, but, like, that's the thing. Springer's a veteran guy, and, like, there was a difference. I did notice a difference between the Springer ABs and the Springer, like, you know, body language and the hits versus the other guys. It just didn't look like they were there and they were owning that space and owning the box.
There was a lot of moments in that game, and I was actually talking about this on CTV, basically saying it's like we need to work the pitcher more. Because it was very clear. It's like 3 pitches, 4 pitches, we're done. You know, we're out, ground ball. So that's what I mean by having us on our heels, right? It's just like he caught us off guard and we weren't expecting it, and we're swinging, and then boop, ground ball, like innings over. And it was consistent, you know, and that's why he went 7.1 innings, and then they got their bullpen guy out, and they used one bullpen guy. One bullpen guy. That's it. They used 2 pitchers yesterday. We used 5 bullpen guys. Now, not saying that all of them aren't available, like some of them only did like 0.1 innings, but still, we used 5 bullpen guys to get through the remainder of that game. They used 1.
Yeah,
and it's not even their best guy.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, they still have a lot of their best guys. Got Seawold back there, still ready to go today. But like in a playoff series and a 3-game series, like those bullpen pieces that we have better be ready to go all 3 games if they're called upon. Because look, it's do or die now.
Yeah,
it's the exact same situation like I'm saying with Alek Manoah. If there was going to be an ALDS, he's got to be ready to go on a short rest. You know what I mean? It's like all hands on deck. They got to go, right?
Yeah, so I frankly, I really believe that these Blue Jays, we got to throw yesterday in the garbage can.
It's got to be a garbage can.
We cannot possibly take anything away from that game. It was bad.
Yeah.
The offense was awful, really. Like, we just were not stringing our hits together at all. We have to be better. There is no excuses. We just need to be better. Robbie Ray, the pitcher who is going to be on the mound for the Seattle Mariners today, this is a player who we actually can beat.
Yeah.
This is not the same guy that you remember who won Cy Young with the Toronto Blue Jays. This is a pitcher who is actually beatable. Before I continue, big shout out to Tampa Lion Blue Jay there with a $19.99 donation. Thank you so much, dude. He's saying Blue Jays 11, Mariners 6. Springer drives in 4 and Teoscar drives in 3.
Yo, wow. Let's go.
That would be an absolutely... I'm so here for it, though.
I would love that.
I'm so here for
Versus
that game.
what we saw yesterday, God, I would love 11 runs.
Like, that would really be like, okay, we actually
can take
can
game
score.
3 now.
We actually can score.
Like, that's it for me. Like, if we can beat some good pitching, and look, Logan Gilbert would beat tomorrow game 3, and I want to get ahead of ourselves here, but, like, he's tough. But we need to be able to beat Robbie Ray.
Yeah, Robbie Ray's number 1.
If you can't beat Robbie Ray, you can't be in the playoffs.
No, you don't deserve to be here.
That's
you really don't deserve
You don't deserve this at all.
Yeah.
So you have to beat Robbie Ray today.
And I think, too, we were kind of going through a bit of a worst-case scenario thing. Because obviously, like, your mind is going to go there, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think the first thing I said when I was on CTV is I have a deep fucking pit of depression here. That is, like, put
those
there.
Exact words.
Put there by
a
Louis
deep
Castillo.
Pit of depression.
And I have been thinking about the worst possible case scenario here, which is, could you guys imagine if we win 91 games, we have a really good season, 92 games, 92 games, we have a pretty solid season, we come into the playoffs at home, and not only do we get swept. But if we don't score a single run,
and then the conversation it starts to develop even more in a negative narrative. The Blue Jays haven't won a single playoff game since 2016. This group of core of guys, they're 0-4 in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the whole new storyline.
Yep, they've scored a total of, if I'm not mistaken, I think we scored like 1 run in the last wildcard series. I'm actually not, don't quote me on that. It was not a lot.
It wasn't
but
a lot.
But if we get shut out in 4 games, you scored 1 run.
Yeah.
Then the narrative really does become, okay, they crumble under the pressure. The offense is crumbles under the pressure.
Like, is Vladdy the guy to be able to take us to the next level? Like, is this young core the guy that can do it when we need to do it?
Yo!
Holy crap.
My God!
Anime Heaven with a... I don't know what that is, though.
500. What is that? Oh, wait. Oh, I thought it was dollar.
I don't know what that is.
But whatever it is, thank
500 of something from Anime Heaven. Seeing, I believe if Jays somehow win today, Stripling is going to dominate Game 3 and take us to the ALDS. Can somebody tell me what that is, please?
But thank you.
But thank you so much for the donation. Amazing. I imagine that is a decent amount of money right there. I have no idea. But thank you so much, dude.
Thank you.
If the Jays somehow win today, Stripling is going to dominate in Game 3 and take us to the ALDS. It can happen.
And I believe Stripling will dominate. Stripling has been consistent against big opponents in big moments. It's, again, boys and girls, it's the offense. We got to see something today. I mean, we might have to if we want to see Stripling tomorrow. Because if we don't see anything today, there will be no Stripling tomorrow.
Yeah.
There was also Ben Nicholson-Smith threw this in the Twitter sphere, and I just think it would be an absolute dumb move if this did go about. So there is no locked-in Stripling tomorrow. They haven't locked in. Seattle's locked in Gilbert. Toronto hasn't locked in Stripling. There's a possibility that Barrios might go tomorrow. He threw it out there.
No.
Now, how stupid would that be? The logic is, this would be the logic. And this is me trying to play if that were to happen. Oh, okay, we pitch Barrios here so we can have Stripling start 2 games in the ALDS. That logic makes 0 sense because we got to get to the ALDS first.
No.
You got to get there.
There's no, if Barrios, if we win today and Barrios was to be the guy who starts tomorrow, I can't defend you anymore, John Schneider.
I can't. I literally
you're dead to me.
You go from my favorite manager, right, so far in this Blue Jays like last 5 years, other than John Gibbons, to then you can't manage a team.
I can't do that. I can't. Even if that pays off, even if that gamble pays off, I just can't do it.
Yeah,
you know? It's way too risky to be trotting out a guy like Jose Barrios in a do or die game
against Logan Gilbert. Not a chance.
We can't possibly do that.
Not
dude.
a chance.
I would have loved in the preseason for Jose Barrios to be a guy in the playoffs for us. That's just not the case though in this season.
Look, and if Manoah can't go on short and rest for some whatever reason in on Tuesday, if we do make the ALDS,
right?
Look, if we have to pitch Barrios twice, I'm just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Then okay, we pitch Barrios twice.
That's the situation that we're put in, right?
Yeah,
that's what happens when we don't win game one.
That's exactly what happens
against Seattle. So that's going to happen.
Exactly.
But we got to worry about that when we got to worry about that. I just need to get there before we can start, doing, planning ahead for that. That's like, it's kind of like a metaphor analogy. Football watchers out there, it's like when people, and even in baseball as well, it's like when you're trying to turn the double play and you haven't caught the ball yet,
right?
And then you screw it up. You bobble it because you're already
thinking about
already planning to get it over there.
Well,
you got to catch it
be happy
first.
just to feel the ball.
Yeah, exactly. You got to clamp that ball first, and then you can start doing the additional stuff. But it's one step at a time. So I do think that John Schneider's going to come to his senses, and like Stripling will be the man. I can't possibly imagine Jose Barrios coming out for Game 3, do or die, against the Seattle Mariners. No, can't happen.
Here, while we transition a bit and like bring it back in as we're talking about like the future, let's talk about this game right here. We want to take a look at the lineup first, and let's talk a little bit about the Toronto Blue Jays, Seattle Mariners, pitching matchups, everything like that.
Yeah, let's take a look right here, guys. So this is the lineup that we are riding with today. Kevin Gausman is obviously the starting pitcher for us. Leading off is going to be George Springer. Second in the lineup, Bo Bichette. Guerrero, number 3. Daddy Kirk, 4. T.O. 5. Chapman, 6. Jansen, 7. Merrifield, 8. And Espinal, who I really do believe is deserving of a start, he's going to be 9.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it?
See, I feel good. I mean, obviously these are the guys I want to roll out with. You gotta have the 2 catchers in there. You gotta keep Witt. He got a hit yesterday, like in a game where we only got 7 hits, I believe. I have the box score right here, just so we can remind ourselves. He had 1 hit. Chapman with 2. Kirk with 1. Yeah, these are guys I want to see in there. But Espinal is coming off a bit of an injury right now, folks. Now he hasn't performed that well with the bat. It might be because of injury. But here's my thing. I'm going to really prioritize the defense.
I need it.
I need the defense.
Yeah, and frankly, too, I think that Santiago Espinal is a player who just gives you maximum effort all the time.
Great batting average last month.
And if you look at that OPS plus on the season, he's basically an average bat. He's an average bat, and he is an exceptional defensive player.
Yeah, and I'm going to prioritize that.
And I really think that, frankly, like if we're looking at like a job or something like that, or we're looking at like a promotion, I think that Santiago Espinal has put in the effort and put in the work and is deserving of having a start here in the playoffs.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that he deserves to have a start based on the amount of just like he grinds it out, man. You know that when he's at bat, when he's in the field, he really is giving 110% all of the time. Sometimes with Guerrero, you don't always see that. Now, Guerrero is obviously, at the end of the day, a lot more talented with the baseball bat than Santiago Espinal is. I think we can all agree on that. But Espinal deserves this start.
Because we do. I want to jump off what you said of he grinds out ABs, and we both know we did not do a lot of that yesterday.
No grinding.
It was a lot of I'm swinging, I'm looking for a pitch, I'm swinging, and look, I love Kirk. You know how much I love Kirk.
Yeah.
Yesterday, for Kirk standards, I'm not trying to blame him. It's everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
But he expanded the zone quite a bit.
Yeah, he did.
And we need someone to grind ABs, go deep into the count, and Espinal can do that. He can, he's not a leadoff hitter. Obviously, he's in the very bottom of the lineup, but he can set the table for the guys in the other top part of the lineup because of his good ABs.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. This is, for me, considering the Lord is injured and we don't have access to the Lord right now, he's not even on this series roster, this would be my perfect lineup. Yeah. This is actually the perfect lineup. This is what I want. These are the players that I want in. I think that they all deserve to be here right now based on what they've done for this team. We could get into the really nitty gritty stuff about like, wow, like maybe Chapman should be above Tio or blah blah blah. Yeah. I don't really care.
Actually, it's perfect though because I think it's Tio's hot. Yeah, Chapman obviously will slot right there. This has been the top 4. I love the top 4 this season. Yeah. Danny is arguably the next best power hitter right there. Witt, you don't know what you're going to get, right? You could get something good. You can get something, like he's hot. And then Espinal, like we were just talking about, grinds out the ABs and gets on base.
I think it's good. I mean, this is a good lineup, and it's a lineup that, frankly, if you show me this, and you were like, over, half a run, I will always say over a run,
against anybody.
We just need to do that today. Because clearly we were incapable of doing that yesterday.
I think, speaking of getting shut out, I think we counted it up. We had 7 times in the regular season we got shut out. This was number 8 yesterday.
Wow.
It can't happen again today. It's not gonna. It just shouldn't.
No, it can't possibly happen, guys. No. Do they have the Seattle lineup readily available yet?
Right here.
So this is the Seattle Mariners lineup. Okay, you know what? I think their graphics guy's a bit better than some of the other teams.
Yeah, they definitely got a good graphics guy.
They got a decent graphic guy here. I rate it. Yeah. So leading off for them, they have Julio Rodriguez, obviously an absolute stud. Wow, I wish we could have him. Ty France, number 2. Suarez, 3. Rayleigh, number 4. Haniger, 5. Frazier, 6. Santana, 7. Kalenic, 8, and Crawford, number 9. Kind of funny that they don't even have Winker in here.
He's injured.
Is he injured?
Yeah,
he's fully injured. Okay. I was gonna say, like, damn, like, is he that bad season?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. Rayleigh came out of nowhere. And I think we were watching the game yesterday, folks. We were watching the game. Rayleigh came up to bat. He's got a solid, like, 220 batting average or something like that. Even less than that, excuse me. 211.
But it's the power.
And I was just like, okay, well, this is very clearly a power hitter. Don't leave it in the heart of the plate. And that's what happened, and he sent one deep.
Here's my thing. He was my, in the pre-show, you were, like, working, running, showering, everything. I highlighted him in the pre-show because he has been on fire in the month of September, August with 959 OPS.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right?
That's a lot.
Batting average a lot higher. Like, he's really exploded for this team, and that's why he's batting in that 4 spot. And we saw it yesterday. Yeah. He drove in 2 runs with the homer, and that was basically all she wrote.
And the thing is, Manoah made a mistake. Manoah made a full mistake on that, and a power hitter like this, they want the fastball at the belt. That's where it was. It was a fastball. It was right in their power zone, and it was right in the middle of the plate. And of course, a guy who's that hot, who likes to hit home runs, is going to annihilate it for 370 feet or however long it went, right?
Yeah.
So we can't be doing that today. Gausman, I hope that the game plan is a little bit different. Do not try to gas it past this guy because he will beat you. Throw him the sinking sliders. If you have to walk him, walk him. But I don't need another 3 or a 2-run shot, in the first inning to get us behind like that.
Well, let's talk about those starting pitchers a little bit more. I do want to take a look. Let's start with our boy Kevin Gausman right here, because I know he's been not the greatest in the last little stretch, but he hasn't been the worst either.
If you go and you look at his, I think go to his splits, actually, if you don't mind. Go to his splits here, and you're going to notice, folks. Now, I don't know for sure what these numbers are. I haven't actually looked at it. But I can guarantee if we go to the first and the second half of the season, where do we have that? Okay, so
just move.
Right over there. Yeah, there it is. So it's very clear that in the second half of the season, he has been a different player than in the first half of the season. He's been a lot more comparable to Robbie Ray, actually, in that second half of the season. And this isn't something new for Kevin Gausman. We actually saw this from him last year.
We did.
He had a really poor second half after exploding in the first half. And I also think this is really interesting, too. Now I'm just noticing all these numbers right now. His whip is lower in the second half than it is in the first half. So I wonder, it's like, is that 2.87 ERA, is that fluky? Or what is happening?
I know that
here?
He had
or is he getting unlucky
extremely unlucky. We're pulling up his savant here. I know he gives up a crap load of hits.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
Look, chase rate, everything, fastball, blah, blah, doesn't walk a lot of people, expect slug, expected batting average, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't know what to look for here in terms of expected batting average or expected on base numbers. Expected batting average? Do they have that for pitchers?
They do.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, so, I mean, expected batting average is 242, and what's his actual batting average against? for the season.
It should be down there.
Should be down here.
I think it should. Yeah. Oh, I could be wrong.
I think it's on the other page. But regardless, point being, he is getting unlucky. Getting unlucky.
Definitely getting unlucky. But point is, he has definitely been worse in the second half than in the first half.
Yeah.
Nobody can deny that. But let's take a look at Robbie Ray.
Yeah. Well, to finish off the thoughts while I bring up Robbie Ray, does that worry you right now coming into the season? I mean, like, it is what it is. I
mean, yeah, of course I'm a little concerned.
Yeah,
absolutely, right? Yeah. Like a 3.9 ERA, like that's kind of below average, right? It's like that's not.
That's about average.
They're about average.
Actually, a little bit better than average, but
like it's okay. It's
but
fine.
Like, it's below than what we want from
them. Exactly. Yeah. And I guess a 3.9 ERA, like that kind of means that you're probably going to give up three earned runs. If you go 6, something around that.
Yeah. Which means the boys got to put up.
That's what that is. What it is, right? It's like it scares me because we got 0 earned runs. You know, if we give up 4 runs here, like we did yesterday. Is that enough for us to come back and, be elite, right?
Yeah. Well, looking over here at Robbie Ray, actually very eerily similar. Like, horrible start to the season, actually, where Robbie Ray, where Kevin Gausman had a really good start to the season.
Yeah.
Blown up. Both of them got blown up in July. Had bounced back August. Oh, Ray really had a bounce back August.
Incredible August.
And then
June.
4+ ERA in September and October. Look, again, like I said before, if we're gonna win this game, we got to put up runs against Robbie Ray.
Yeah.
You got to do it fast.
Yeah.
You got to do what they did to Alek Manoah yesterday.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, because we need to get to the bullpen, guys. We need to get to the bullpen. If they get up early, I mean, we're going to see their good bullpen pitchers anyways, but it really puts the ball in their court to play their game,
Yeah.
I don't want to play their game. We played their game yesterday.
We did.
And it wasn't fun, man. Like, I had no interest in watching that. I don't want to watch that again. It was depressing. It was sad. I was saying way too many four-letter words that I probably shouldn't have. It wasn't good. It wasn't good,
a cute game, bro.
We need to be a lot better than that today, and it does start with the offense.
Yeah, it does. Okay, I know it's kind of early in the stream, but like, do you have any score predictions for this Toronto Blue Jays Seattle Mariners Game 2 game?
Like for me, I think I said it. I said it actually on a TikTok that I just did. If you guys aren't following us on TikTok, absolutely go do that, folks. I promise we post some good stuff. Like it is really fun. So go follow us on TikTok. And also too, 93 people in here. Please like the stream if you haven't already done so, and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be going live directly after this to watch the entire game.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be doing. Well, I hope that we don't have to do a season-ending post-game show.
No.
But at the very least, you'll get a minute monologue about what happened.
After, yeah.
I think score prediction-wise, I said it in the TikTok, and I'm going to stick with it. It's going to be a 6-3 ball game for the Toronto Blue Jays. I just need to tell myself that.
Yeah.
I just need to tell myself that we are going to put up runs.
You know what? I'm going to stick with that 6, so I'm going to say 6-5, just like you predicted yesterday.
Right.
I'm going to say 6-5 because I see both starting pitchers giving up like 2 to 3 earned runs each.
Yeah.
And then like the offense is going to be rolling on both sides, and it's going to be a battle.
We need to get up. Like I cannot watch another game where we get down early like that.
Oh my god.
I cannot watch another game.
Depressed mode
I'm gonna go into full up. Like I'm gonna turtle, and it's gonna be upsetting. And I don't want you guys to watch that. I don't want to have to go through that.
No.
So yeah, I mean I'm gonna go 6-3 Jays, and I don't ever want to be behind.
Never.
I want to have 2 runs in the first 2 innings. Then I want to have like a really nice like 5th where we score 3.
Nice.
And then somebody gets a solo bomb in the 7th or something.
We need it.
It's 6 runs and we win. So that's us.
We do got some score predictions here from Ratchet 7-5 Blue Jays. That's also what I was thinking of as well. 14-2 Blue Jays, saying the Minecraft player. Junior Donaldson says even more. 17-1. Think big with the gorilla puffing emojis.
Wow, we even have a Jays fan coming in here and saying very sadly 5-4 Mariners. Let's go down the rabbit hole right now. We lose this game.
Oh, no.
I don't know how we lose this game, but we end up losing this game right here. What do we need to do, man? I don't want to transition into that whole offseason speak, but talk about. But we are literally we could be 9 innings away from having those conversations.
No.
Yeah. I don't want it either, man. I don't want it either. But let's say we lose this game right here. We get swept at home from the Seattle Mariners when we were favored to win these series. What is it like? What needs to happen here? Is it a manager thing? Is it a player thing? How many times can we use the excuse these players are young? How many times can I use that? You know?
Exactly. Like here's the thing. You have to stick with the young guys next year. Like obviously the problem is if we get like shut out again or we only put up like 1 or maybe 2 runs and they blow us up, all the conversation is going to be the offense. Where was the offense that series? The offense didn't show up. Well, how do you fix the offense?
I don't know. You can't. Like, we need better players. We need them to play better. Like,
you signed George. It's not George Springer's fault, but you signed George Springer. You have this young phenom Vladdy that just needs to be better. Same with Bo. It needs to be better. Kirk. How could you ask for any more? Hernandez, he's on the last year of his deal. Like, do you trade him? Do you get someone new in here? Like, do you get Aaron Judge on the team? Like literally, how do you get better?
Like, what can you do?
How do you and you can't get Aaron Judge on the team because basically
we don't have the money.
You don't have the money to get Aaron Judge because you have to lock up the young guys if that's the way you want to build this team.
Right.
Like, it would just be a weird fucking pivot of a team to all of a sudden sign Aaron Judge. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you can't improve the catchers. How do you improve the outfield? Like, I don't even know. You can't improve the bats.
And this is why this is going to hurt the most out of anything. Because when you have a team that's in the rebuilding category, you know, we used to play a video game called NHL 18, and, you know, we used to kind of label your squads, you know, hopeful, rebuild, or whatever. If you're in the hopeful and you're in the rebuilder category, and you get to watch your team, it's kind of nice because it's like, okay, like, if we lose, we lose, but I know that in this offseason, we can sign Aaron Judge, we can sign Jacob deGrom, we can go after these guys, right? Like, there are actively things that we can do. But we're in a position right now as the Toronto Blue Jays, we're in a spot where there's no one thing, or there's not really a player or a thing that we can go out and we can acquire and be like, that's going to fix the problem. Yeah. We should be better than we are.
Offensively, right? Because in terms of pitching, we definitely need to go get pitching.
We could get more starting pitching for sure.
Just like, where is it here? Someone said it. James, another starting pitcher. This is a Canadian Grim Reaper, starting pitcher, relief pitcher. Maybe make a push for Trey Turner and have Bo move to second. That is also, someone did say, right here, sign a defensive shortstop as EJB elite, a veteran starting pitcher and a better bullpen guy. So just talking about the offense to finish our conversation there, is signing a veteran shortstop, maybe even like a Xander Bogaerts, would that help? Well, obviously it'd help out the team.
Here's the thing though, if Xander Bogaerts was playing yesterday, do we win that game?
No.
I don't
Probably
think
not.
So. You know, I don't think so, right? So it's like, yeah, like, I like all these ideas, and don't get me wrong, like, I'd love to have Xander Bogaerts. I'd love to have Trey Turner, right? But I don't think that, like, with what I saw yesterday, it's not gonna be like maybe Aaron Judge, right? It's like maybe we score 1 if Aaron Judge is here because he solo bombs, right? But I just don't see how it's like a one-player fix. And I think that's why this is going to hurt the most if we do lose today, because we are a contender.
Yes.
We walked into this team, where we walked into the season, and people had us in the top 5 of their power rankings.
Oh, yeah.
Some
people top 2.
Literally.
The Dodgers.
It's like we were there. It's like everyone's like, these Blue Jays, like, across the board, they're really good, right? And you look at that line, if you look at it on paper, you go, damn, like, that is a talented ball club right there. Damn, these pitchers, even really though, talented. I mean, some of them haven't hit their ceiling, they should be better than what they are, right? It's like, this squad, where we're at right now, should be better. We cannot be a 2-and-out team. That's not what we need to be. Like, on paper, we're way better than that. Mm-hmm. I don't want that for us.
Yeah, it literally comes down to the guys playing better. And, like, sure, I agree in terms of just, like, what can we do in the offseason? Bring in more pitchers. That's clearly an issue, right? Pitching's an issue. That can be solved. Just bring in as many pitchers as possible. And I do agree, would you be butthurt with the idea of moving Bo over to second?
Well, it all depends on who is coming. You know, like,
I think Turner or Xander Bogaerts.
Exactly. I think it's very, very clear that, like, if there is a better option defensively at shortstop, I'll take it. Because, let's face it, right? It's like Bo's had enough time to become, you know, and develop into being elite. And sure, we've seen improvements, but it just doesn't seem like he's ever going to be that guy to, like, really lock it down in the middle there. Yeah. If another player is going to come in and do that for us, 100%, you can move Bo wherever you want. You can play outfield, you can be DH. I don't care. Yeah. You know. But like, I'm not going to be upset if he stays there. I'm not. I don't think. Again, I don't think that's the problem.
It comes down to just the players being better. It's the whole like Maple Leaf situation where it's like you have everyone you possibly could want.
It's like, what else can we do?
You just have to win,
right? Because
you just have to win.
In their regard, and I remember I saw I think it was Sid. I forget his last name. Sid, guy in Tim and Sid. You know what I mean?
Sid, old guy in Tim and Sid.
Sid, he was talking about it, and he was saying it's like you went out, you got the defense. You went out, you changed the managers. You signed the big guy, right? It's like you have the big like 50, 60 goal scorer. What's the excuse now? And the same sort of question is going to arise, and we're going to need to try to answer that question for the Toronto Blue Jays, because it's like, well, we fixed the bullpen. The bullpen's good now.
Yeah.
We signed the Kevin Gausman.
Yeah.
We traded and we signed for the Jose Barrios.
Yep.
We have the young superstar. We signed the George Springer.
We got George Springer.
What's
we have
the
best
now?
catching in the league.
We fired the manager.
We fired the manager.
What
What's
can
left?
What else can we do?
It's just
what
the
else
guys.
can we do?
It's the guys.
You know?
And that's it. They just need to learn how to win baseball games in the high critical situations. They have to just do it. And look, I'm going to give them a lot of time. I'm not going to go into full panic mode if we get swept. I'll be very pissed off. Believe me. I'll be very pissed off, very upset. And I'm going to remember that for a long, long time and have to go through the whole year knowing next year, like, crap, we got to get back there and prove to everyone we can win a goddamn playoff game. But it all depends on the boys themselves. Like, they have a few more years on this ball club, Bo and Vlad speaking very specifically. So you have time. I give you 2 years.
I will also comment, too, this kind of brings me back. When I was on CTV this morning, one of the questions that they were going to ask me was, what's at stake if we lose this game? What's at stake today?
Yeah.
And obviously, I think the very simple answer, and the one that, like the most at stake is, well, the season's going to be over.
And everything.
Season's going to be over. Our 92-win season's going to be done.
But greater narrative.
Exactly. But a greater narrative, when you really look at it, this is going to be another year, another season. I think you can argue the second season in a row.
Second season now.
Where it's like, we've had a really good team. We've had these young guys be really good. On paper, everyone loves us, right? And we're not meeting or hitting expectations. And it's very rare, let's face it, guys, it's very rare that you have an outfield as good as Springer, Hernandez, Lord. It's very rare.
The infield
It's
is
very
incredible.
rare that you have Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. getting paid nothing. You have maybe, well, I think actually, definitely the best catching duo in the league. It's very rare when you have that. It's very rare when you have, a pitching lineup that should be better than what they are. A young Alek Manoah who's in the Cy Young conversation
very
getting
lucky.
paid nothing. Right?
Stripling coming out of nowhere. Getting paid nothing.
How often are you going to have a team, a lineup, a roster this talented getting paid what they're getting paid? And, at some point, we're going to walk into a season and our team's not going to be as good as it was the year prior.
Pieces are going to fall away. People are going to decline.
I don't think we're that far away from that happening.
And we've been very lucky. Last 2 years, we have barely been injured. The only injury that I remember, in the last years that was really critical, was George Springer, Alejandro Kirk last year.
Yeah.
That's it. This year, so healthy.
100%.
So healthy.
100%.
It was Lourdes at the end, but that's we could afford to. We could still play games and win games without Lourdes.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate. All of our starting pitchers are healthy, other than Hyun-Jin Ryu. But let's be honest. He wasn't really a large contributing factor to the team, but you've been gifted everything. So it's up to the boys now to go out and actually compete and win. And look, I know it's kind of a very depressing conversation to have right now. The season's not over yet. We still got to win this game today, right? So we got to do it.
Yeah, it really does frustrate me because it's one of those situations where it's like, I don't know how you make your roster better than this. And I think that it will start to deteriorate as time goes on.
Yeah.
And I always make analogies, going to my favorite football team, but I've watched that happen with my Green Bay Packers where it's their roster, just on paper, is not quite as good this year as it was last year. It's still pretty good.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good, and we're still going to be there. We're going to fight. But, did we miss that window where we had the best possible team to do it?
Could have.
Yeah,
you could have missed it.
And it's like, Blue Jays going to do that as well, where it's like, is this the best team that we're going to have in the next 5 years?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the
I'm
thing.
not sure.
Because after next year, you're going to lose either T.O. You might lose both T.O. or Lord.
You could lose both of your outfielders.
Yep.
Could lose both of your outfielders. Yep. God only knows if Jose Barrios is going to be good at baseball from here on out.
Right.
You know? I mean, Kevin Gausman is going to get older eventually, and he is going to fall off.
Same with George Springer.
Same with George Springer.
Yep.
You are going to need to pay for Guerrero, for Bichette, for Manoah, for Alejandro Kirk. There are 4 guys. Even Danny Jansen's contract is going to come up, right? It's like, those are 5 guys right there who are going to want a lot of money, and they are deserving of a lot of money. You're going to need to pay for them. Are you going to be able to keep all 5 of them? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got this year and next year. Those for me right now, because we haven't seen the roster. Well, obviously we haven't seen the roster moves yet. It's not even the offseason yet to like extend our window. But it's this year. It's next year. That's like the peak, in my opinion, of this window.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree. And so far, if we get swept today, it's not meeting what I needed to do. It's not doing what I needed to do.
But if we do manage to win today and we do manage to win tomorrow, those conversations can go away a little bit.
Yeah, it can
because if we go to the ALDS,
that's so much nicer when we
then
win.
Then we're not worried as much.
No, literally,
we're never expected to beat the Astros.
If we just go to the ALDS, it's like I'm fine now. I'm good. Like
we did what we needed to do. We won a playoff series.
Yes,
and we're done.
Please, God, I'm good now. I'm good.
And shout out really quickly to Secular Monk saying, "Go Mariners sweep time," as we're talking about that.
Thanks for the $2, dude.
Thank you.
But
we can't have that.
I can't support what you just said there.
Look, okay, if we win one game, we lose tomorrow. Let's say we win today, we lose tomorrow. Narrative's a little bit different. Just a little bit.
I mean, just a little, but I'm still obviously disappointed.
Upset,
you know, we had somebody come into our home
and take
care of business, and they're an underdog, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I'm
obviously not gonna be happy about it, but that is what it is. It's a bit better than I guess getting swept, but
getting swept. The narrative is, what do we do to fix this team? If we lose, it's okay. Let's go again.
Yeah.
If we win, it's good season.
Yeah, exactly. If we can just make it to the ALDS, if Astros want to just absolutely slap us around, then that's gonna be what it is, and I can take it.
And I already predicted that they're gonna slap us around. Yeah, and no one's expecting us to win that series.
Yeah, exactly.
So no one cares.
I didn't necessarily predict it, but if I had to bet my life, come on, they'd probably do it, so I'd be fine with it, but. Everybody, you guys let us know your score predicts and everything in the comments down below. Before we hop off here, I did just want to talk about very quickly Daryl D asking, sorry I stepped out. Do we talk about Gausman's finger? No, we have not.
We have not. It's healthy. He's good to go.
He should be fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not bugging him. I guess we'll probably notice it pretty early on if it is a problem for him. Maybe there's a pitch count. Maybe there's something like that.
Actually, here's a situation I never even thought of. What if the reason why they haven't announced Stripling Game 3 is because just in case Gausman can only go 3 innings because of his finger, he has a problem, you put Stripling in, and then you have to go with Barrios in Game 4. It's a realistic option. I'm just throwing it out. I just thought of that right now, folks. Look, if this is the do or die game, we got to get to tomorrow.
Yeah,
so I'm okay with it.
If that is the reason, if we have to do Stripling today to win the game, I understand.
It's the same argument as why we throw our triplets.
I absolutely get it, and that, fuck.
We're creating this narrative right now. They haven't said anything about that, but. I mean,
I don't want that.
I definitely don't want that, but if it has to be done, it has to be done,
I don't want that at all, guys. Let us know your score predicts, your thoughts down below. We're going to be live for this game in an hour's time, guys. Hop on. It's going to be stressful, folks, but we want to see you all in there.
Yeah, guys. Please make sure to like this stream. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, just like Nick said. Hop on our live stream. They're going to be stressing. We'll have some beers. And guys, let's fucking do this.
Yeah, as always,
go Jays, go!